Good morning. You are back with HatterXP. We are back in the Minecraft world. Excited for a new beginning. I don't know that I'll be working too much on this base today. Hold on, my mouse is set for Fortnite. I was playing with the wife the other day, actually. I did record that for the first time in a while. But, so, for those of you who missed last time, I have been doing some updates to this base. It is coming along pretty good. I've supercharged the fence, been keeping up with the chickens. My tunnel mine is absolutely epic. It is one of my favorite things about this place. And everything is coming together so nicely. These torches are to help with the dead. But the thing of it is I gotta move on for now. Something hit me the other day, and I was just like, you know what? I wonder what would happen. What would happen if I asked ChatGPT? I asked AI, what does the perfect homestead look like? And you know what? It gave me an answer. But I like my base. I think it's pretty. I like its location. I am not going to tinker with it. But I got a second base. And that one's more because it's at the crazy mansion place that I don't actually remember what it's called. Something mansion. And it is also beautiful. Built into a mountain. At one point, I hope to convert it to a Lord of the Rings style. But for now, I am not skillful enough to pull that off. Probably put doors over here. But that means a third base. Now, 3 bases. That sounds a lot like baseball. And I like baseball. But no, I am going to go on the hunt for a location to start putting together this AI base. But things that I want to do before I commit to this journey is get myself situated a little bit. I am not going to need all that I got here. We are not going to take the minecart. We probably should take some watermelon though. We're going to need food. That we are. That's a given. Maybe I'll cook a whole whack of potatoes and get going on that. Where's my taters? There's my taters. Half of these aren't even done. Okay. I want to swap y'all out. And see how many I'm left with after. Hey, I didn't want to open you up, dude. There we go. Okay, planted 13 taters. And give them a little cookskis. Put that over there. How are you looking? Ooh, yeah. Grab this. Throw that. Grab this. Put that. We're cooking. But good morning to y'all. It is a good morning. I feel blessed today. I really do. I just got off of a 6-day rotation of work. So yeah, physically fatigued, mentally a little fatigued. And now I got 3 to maybe 4 days off. I got a co-worker expecting a baby. Very excited for him. But means I might have to cover for him when he's being a second-time dad. But I'm going to make the best of these 3 days. Might not get the rest that I might necessarily need, but that's what naps are for. Do you know that? That's what naps are for. Anybody else watching the Charlie Sheen talking about having to keep doing this stuff? I'm like, that's my tiger blood. Okay, well that's, what is that recipe? Enchanted golden apple. I don't think I want to use the enchanted golden apple. I would like some golden carrots, because I'm liking my donkeys. And while I'm waiting for the potatoes to cook, might see if they want to make another donkey. Hi, guys. Oh, yeah, there's, what, 1, 2, 3, 4. I wish there was 6 of you. Make it even, but one of you's gonna be... Okay. Oh. Yeah, there we go. Let's go. Another baby. Okay, that's... You guys don't give me the baby every time. That's true. But now, once we're all settled for food, we'll go for a walk. We'll go see if we can find somewhere. Set up new shop. I will build myself a new boat. I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat. Okay, let's see. I don't need my dandelions. What do I need to craft a boat? Oh, a couple more of those things. Tell you what, I'll get it going right about now. I don't want that. I might bring with the crafting table. I feel like I got so many of those for no apparent reason. There we go. I'm just gonna bring water bucket. Mm-hmm. Guess what's up? Also probably not a bad idea to okay, I think I'm feeling the strategy coming. Feeling strats. So maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And I probably should get a bed. Let's see if we got some sheepies. We got any? Well, I got a whole bed there. Well, that's problem solved. There. Torches. That's not a lot of torches, but it should be enough for any new location we go to. Random pair of diamond leggings. Let's take a peek-see. Java. That is delicious. Iron wouldn't be the worst thing, but let's commit to that. Let's sleep through the storm. See if the morning brings anew. Probably don't need the oak planks. Night night. Night night. It's, oh, okay. It's not raining. Oh, did you know? Like it knew. Weather forecasters are probably better than ours then. Okay, but I want to go in a new direction. So, I've been over there. I know that spooky cave. Been over there. A tunnel place, if I'm not mistaken, goes that away and that away. Hey, come on. Let's see if we can't find another spot. Now, the AI base design is 120 by 120 for the homestead. That means I need a large spot, relatively level. Will I tunnel that base? Probably eventually. I like that. I like that a lot. But I feel like I should be keeping it well far away. Hello. How are you doing? Hope you're having a fabulous morning. I got AI give me some suggestions for base building, so now we're just going to be on the hunt for somewhere where I don't have to work as hard to put it together. And also somewhere new. New and exciting. Let's see. Like, that's new and exciting, but that's pretty close to my base already. Like, you might as well be at home then. There it is. Me like the fishies, that's good enough for me. Right? And it had actually a pretty decent idea. I'll give it that. Because my rules for the AI, my rules for ChatGPT on this one was I want a homestead. My livestock has got to have a house too. Not as fancy as my house, but they got to have their own house. And it needs to make sure that they don't feel crowded. You don't want your chickens and your livestock to be crowded. How many days on this world? That's a good question. Nope. Four chunks friendly fire. Show days played. 225. Yeah. See, oh, this is my first time playing through. So yeah. You love homesteads? That's epic because in last December, me and my wife took the plunge. We sold our house in the city and we moved out to 17 acres in the middle of nowhere. I currently have a 42-minute drive. Or no, sorry, it would actually be like, so it's like a 60-kilometer drive to work. But I got 17 acres and it's peaceful. And we got pygmy goats. I wanted livestock, they wanted pets. But we got pygmy goats. I love it. I love it. I grew up on one. And so I wasn't living in the city till I was 18 years old. And then I lived in the city for like another 18 years. And by year 12, I was itching to get back into the country. So your dreams do come true. Do I got a dolphin chasing me? I do. He's cute. He's adorable. I'm going to name him Milton. Where'd you go, Milton? Whoop, let's go. Let's do this. That looks like a lot of flat territory over there. I'm willing to base build over there. I feel like I did. That's why I said it's useless to buy lottery tickets right now, because what are the chances we win it twice? We never didn't actually win any jackpots on lottery, but like with having the opportunity to do something that we were truly passionate about and we both wanted for ourselves. Because she started watching those reels of people putting together their homesteads. The wife started watching that and didn't take her long, and she was just like, I want that. I need that in my life. So now she's like the food preservation champion of the world. That might be a little dramatic. But it is a lot of work. Make no mistake. I'm streaming at 5:14 a.m. my time, because once it turns 7 o'clock, I gotta get my kid up for school. One of my kids, and then it's time to get back to work. Little too dramatic. No. Never. Me? No. This island's too tiny. Whee! I'm drowning. Okay, let's... Cruising down the street in my boy. No, it's not too personal. So 4 kids, all my wife's kids actually. So I have 4 stepkids. And yeah, they're my kids. But yeah. If you know what I mean. If you know, you know. Okay. Maybe. I didn't think so either. Me and the wife did try to have one together, but the risks were too much. It was heartbreaking for us. Oof. You know what? I would say father dude would probably be the greatest definition because I went from a funkle to a dad, and so now I'm like, would it be a fad? Ooh, that's rough. But yeah, no, I keep it pretty lively. Yeah, I don't want to be boating this whole time, so just give me a piece of property that's big enough for this AI base. Looks like we're coming up on someplace good. And I got this fun little dolphin chasing me too. Woohoo! Also, I'm drinking from a coffee cup that's very much actually my stepdaughter's coffee cup. I don't know if you can see that. It's Hello Kitty. It's a Hello Kitty coffee cup. And I'm not gonna lie, I think the coffee tastes better. Tastes the same. What time is it in your neck of the woods? How early are you up to join me? Or is it completely other side of the world and you're like having dinner or something random like that? That's what I love about the streams. You never know what you're going to get. You could be someone who's like down the road, or it could be someone who's... 7 p.m. your time. My goodness. See, it always trips me out because it's like 5 a.m. my time. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. We're like on different sides of the world, man. I appreciate that. And we're connecting. This is what's great about Twitch. Oh, thanks, buddy. Thanks. I like your vibes too, man. You're very inquisitive. You know, I feel like you're gonna know the word I'm talking about, but I can't spit it out right now. I real can't. I'm having trouble. No, but I'm having a challenge with it. Get back here. I gotta get to work on my base, or my most exciting feature of this stream is gonna be I lost my boat. Oh no, nightfall's coming. Okay, I got a crunch time now. Okay, I'm liking the view. This can be the place. Oh, get the right tool for the job. Oh, that... Ugh. Accidentally right-click on a piece of wood, now it's ugly. Let's get a groove on. It's like the Avengers. What does Romanoff say to the Hulk guy? Sun's setting. Something like that. Different. Right? Stripped wood. Like, who asked? Let's just get rid of that feature. The bark looks beautiful. Okay. This is going to be the area where we do it. We finally got somewhere big enough, but I got to make myself somewhere to sleep. I need that. So let's get a groove on. Whoop. Boom. Let's go down. Boom. Whoop. Feeling stressed now. You can tell. I'm like, get it together. All right. Oh, yep. You guys are coming already. Get out of here. Seriously. You think you could take me? Well, you too, eh? Well, back off. Ah! Why did it do that? Whoop. All right. Now, y'all have one assignment, okay? Just leave me alone. See? Look at these guys. Jump around. Jump around. In a swamp? Oh, is that what? Ooh, that's exciting. Well, you gotta find beauty in everywhere. Oh, see, like we're on different. Like I was totally thinking of that crisscross song. Everybody jump, jump, jump. Whoop. Whap. Really? You gotta do me like that. Oh, I'm stress building. You can tell. You can see it all over my face. I'm like an open book. Okay. Now leave me alone. I'm gonna have to sleep with that sound all night. Yeah. Yes. Success. There is. I suppose I could keep going. I guess I'm just too itchy to get started on the come on. There we go. There are monsters nearby. Jeez. Why you gotta be so difficult? Okay, let's do this. This is just a temporary. This is like a tent. Because we're camping. I like camping. Camping's a fun time. Just gotta find it. All right. Really? Close enough. There's not monsters nearby. They left. I'm telling you, they left. Trust me, they're gone. See? Ah, they're close. They're closer than I want them to be. Get out of here. Oh, two of you, eh? I think the bed was right. The talking bed was right. There are skeletons near me. Playing hide and seek. Never went camping in my life. In like an actual forest. No? No way. Well, listen, it's depending on where you are. It's like, okay, availability is there even, right? If you wanted to go camping right now, how far would you have to travel in a forest? Mm, I just want to go to sleep though. Yes. Okay, okay. So apparently swamp might not be the place to do this. Probably 5 hours. See? So if I really wanted to go camping, like desperately bad, I have a campsite that is local to me, legit 20 kilometers down the road from where I am. If I want to go camping where I can actually go decent boating, it's an hour away. And so, like, that's just the thing. When you have the more availability. And I guess there's also like, so like how much passion and like desire do you have to go camping, right? Because it's not something everybody wants in their repertoire. I recommend it for everyone. Closer to nature. Why are you guys just chilling out here, man? Yeah. Make like Ellie Goulding, cause we're gonna let it burn, burn, burn. We gonna light it up, 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 and we gonna let it out, out, out. Sorry, my singing voice is not quite fully engaged at this moment. Neither is my movie trailer voice. But we make do. I want to just experience fishing. Fishing can be a good time. I learned that even fishing wasn't like for me, but I also had plenty of experiences with it. Like one of my favorite memories coming up. So I have a dog. He's a Labrador Border Collie. His name's Aston. Aston loves fishing. He likes barking at like when you're casting it out, right? He loves just barking at the fishing rod, right? And he gets so excited when you're casting. It's like a game of fetch to him. It gives me incredible anxiety because in my head, I'm like worried about the hook, right? I'm worried about the lure. I'm you know, he's my baby boy. He's my Mr. Ton, Mr. Aston. So I get worried for him. And it actually does give me anxiety when we're fishing and he's enjoying the heck out of himself, but it also gives me a lot of joy. Oh, Aston, yep. So I named him that. I had a friend who had a dog, and his dog's name was Enzo. And he looked at me, he's like, I named him Enzo because I love Ferrari, but I could never have one, so now I got Enzo. And so then I applied the same concept. I love Aston Martins. And so I was like, you are Aston. And he's a great boy, but yeah. I like taking him fishing because he has a great time, but I have a lot of anxiety when we're doing that. No doubt. But otherwise, like fishing, like you could be out there for hours and not have any excitement. Or you can be out there for an hour and catch like 5. Like it just depends on the day. Right? I think stories are just like sharing your life stories on Twitch. Like there might be people who aren't receptive to it, which is fine. Like if it's not your cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea. But beach or forest. Forest is smart actually, because then you can get like lots of wood. But these are my life stories. If I can share them with you, I'd love to. And I appreciate everything. Even you coming in and chit-chatting with me a bit, I appreciate it. Oh, you're talking to me. I mean, even though it's keys, we're talking. Like, I don't know if you know this yet, but we're friends. We're friends. I like the scenery. I like the wood supply. There's probably not going to be iron anywhere in this area. Right? There you go. In my luck, there is going to be no iron here, but I'm doing it for the view. I'm doing it for the view. I love this. But it increases my chances. They're going to be my friends too. That's right. Let's get on up. Okay, but where specifically should we start? Right? And it's the dark oak wood too, so it's perfect. Because, like, I don't mind the oak wood, but I love the way the dark oak looks. Shall we begin? And if I really wanted to, I could have a section of my property be like a beachfront. This is just, and it's got completely different animals than I had at my side. It was just sheep, cows, and whatnot, which are awesome. Livestocks for days. But like wolves, foxes, I did not see until like now. Oh, just perfect. I should really grab something that's easier to dig. Just go. Nobody wants you stripped. Okay. How did me and the wife meet? Oh, okay. Well, that's a story. So actually, um, remember how I mentioned that I was a country boy, and then I went 18. I moved into the city. Um, so 2008 was when that roughly happened, and it was because that recession year, right? We had completely changed our entire environment. We moved two provinces over. 2008, yep. And so my parents were struggling at the time, and so we end up in Alberta, Canada. If you're wondering where I am, that's where I am. And so my parents are running these apartment complexes, and they say like, hey, you mind coming? We'll give you a spot to stay. We need some help with landscaping and whatnot. So I was like, yeah, deal, let's do it. And so I ended up in this little apartment complex, and it's not an official suite, because you want to save those for like your full paying customers. Fair enough. But it's like this little like manager, like they have the manager's apartment, and then right beside it was like a storage room, and they converted it to a bachelor suite. Yeah, I'm dating myself a little bit. I am 1989 baby. Um, but yeah, so they converted this little area to a manager suite, and then instead of or they converted that storage room into a bachelor suite. And then instead of that being the manager's suite, they updated it so it was the most renovated and updated one, and they rented that out. And lo and behold, we have this adjoining door that we essentially lock out. So I can't get into that suite, and whoever rents that place can't get into mine. Well, lo and behold, this beautiful lady moves in right next door. At the time, she's got 2 kids. She's been through the ringer, her and her ex, bad situation. And this was kind of like a safe spot for her. She wasn't near her family. They were 500 kilometers away. Right? But it's not, though. So what happens is me and her do become best friends. And every morning, you know how I said there was a door in between the suites? So every morning at about 6 a.m., keep in mind, I'm like, what am I, like 20 years old, 21 maybe 19. Every morning I hear a knock on the door, and she's like, you want coffee? And she's single mom just trying to crush it with her kids, and I'm there to help. And obviously I'm crushing on her hardcore, but she's 5 years older than me. She's not interested in a boy. And so we just become fast friends. Lots of love, lots of time spent with the kids, and just enjoying each other's company. Never actually, like, there was one time where I actually did make a move, but she ghosted me right after that. She straight up ghosted me. Fast forward a full, if that was 2008, So fast forward 11 years. 11 years. And it didn't get any better for her. So I found myself steady job. I started grinding, working, got myself a house. And after she'd ghosted me, I like deleted her off Facebook. I was like, all right, I'm over this. I'm tired of pining for you. This is going nowhere. And if you're gonna ghost me, then that's that. And so, but anyways, I grew up a little bit. I got my affairs in order. So job, house. I was just grinding my 20s, lots of work, lots of overtime. But she friends me on Facebook again. And to my knowledge, she's like married, has a couple more kids, and life's been going good for her. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm older now. I've moved on from her ghosting me and stuff like that. And so I was like, yeah, let's be friends. And like, she kind of ghosts me a little bit again, but like in more of a like, I understand you're busy kind of way. But all of a sudden I see a post. And the post essentially says, come to this bar, we have drinks on sale. And I'm like, wait a minute. The last I heard, you were in insurance. What are you doing working at a dive bar? And like, just like the feeling in the pit of my stomach was like, okay, something's happened here. And so then I reached out and was like, hey. And lo and behold, her husband wasn't treating her very well. And so I legit, January 20th, 2020, I legit pulled the rescue mission. And like back alley, she said she was taking the garbage out and just hopped in my truck and we took off. Like he had forced his entry into the house. Bad situation, right? And we were driving. I'm like, so where do you want to go? She's like, can we just go to your house? Yeah, deal. She moved in that day. This like reminds you of Forrest Gump. She was my Jenny. That's fair. That's fair. No, I like that. I do. But yeah, so that's how me and the wife met. We started as best friends over a decade ago, and she said I was too young for her back then. And yeah. It was. That is one that I've rewatched. I couldn't tell you how many times. What's your favorite part of Forrest Gump? Oh. On a door. It's gonna be temp base for me. It is a hard question. I ask all the hard questions. I'm like that annoying reporter. Yeah, we over here. It's probably where Bubba names all the shrimp type. That's fair. It's got quite the montage during that where they're in that Vietnam War and he's listing shrimp while all these different things go on around them. I loved his pursuit. Right? Because most of it feels like, he's just mindlessly, like, things just fall into place for him. But he never gives up on Jenny. And make no mistake, like, if you watch, like, how Jenny's life progresses, like, you're like, man, Forrest is too good for Jenny. But she also goes through so much trauma. But she also causes him so much trauma, right? You get together with somebody that you love, and then all of a sudden the next one morning you're just gone. But he doesn't give up on her. And in the end, they find happiness together. So I love that. Woo, woo. Boom, boom. Okay. Oh, geez. Parkour. Parkour, parkour. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. And there we are. Yeah. Yeah, I do understand. It's it's always trouble. We always get ourselves after trouble. Like they're best friends as kids. You kind of hear about like some of the stuff she's got to go through at home. Like you can't help but love that little girl. And you see why her life turns out the way. Damn, yeah. Yeah. Tom Hanks, man. Brilliant. Nothing but mad respect for that guy. And he seems like such a friendly actor too. Like, have you ever seen the picture of Tom Hanks where he had photobombed someone who had passed out, like intoxicated, and Tom Hanks comes, leans in for a picture, right? Dude just seems cool. That's one person that I would love to meet and get to share a drink with. Albeit I don't drink. I'm 6 years sober, but coffee, cup of coffee with. Boom, boom, boom. You have seen right? I giggle every time I see it. Like you could have legit chit chatted and probably gotten like some wicked time with one of Hollywood's most iconic actors, but you fell asleep. A riddle. So let's see here. I want to just do a quick count here. 1, 2. Hey, get out of there. Okay, let's go here. I got 1, 2, 3. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Ooh, that's a big base. That's a big base. Uh-huh. 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 That's 40 this way. Well, so the designs call for it to be 120 by 20, and I try real hard, but sometimes I can even count that high. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. True story. So that's 40. Because I want to do exact rendition of what? 120 by 120. Yeah, seems real big. That seems like a lot of digging. Lot of digging. I ain't gonna do the full dig on stream because I don't want to bore you, but seriously. That is some shenanigans. So, wait, 2008, you said you were still in the balls. You could do a full stream and just tell stories. That is true. That is true. But now I want to know a little bit about you. You know, like, pretty much, well, a lot of my life story. Sounds like bacon. Tell me a little bit about yourself. I try to avoid age and whatnot all on here, but teens, 20s, you know, is the first digit of your age 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sounded like it was 1 or 2. Okay, okay. High school, middle school. It doesn't matter regardless, actually. It's all a lot to go through to process when you're that age. Are you ambitious for post-secondary at all? Or are you ready to just be done school? You could just... Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Fair enough. So you... Okay, if you were like me at 13 years old, you're like... Not very excited about the future. Why not? Oh, sorry, dude. I'm so sorry. I feel so bad. I didn't mean to... Little thief. That was cute. Did you see that guy? He just stole a block. Too afraid to do my taxes? Oh, shoot. I guess depending on where you're from, taxes can be pretty brutal. From what I understand, so like, taxes don't need to scare you too much. I live in Canada, so like, legit. So I'll be full disclosure. My salary's in the 90,000 mark, and what I take home from that is closer to the 60,000 mark. So like every year is like 30 grand worth of taxes just taken off my check, right? And so that's how they incorporated it out here. Oh no, I'm middle class, straight middle class. Like your take home, and then if you want to be real, like, so 4 kids, wife, so family of 6. That does not take you very far. Like we could probably budget better. Not gonna lie, we probably should budget better. But you know, we're chasing also our dreams and our goals right now too. So expenses are definitely a little bit higher this time of life. It does. It does. It can be a lot sometimes though too. Like just be very real. It's like imagine in your life. I imagine you got your own kind of thing going on, right? Own kind of problems to solve. Fair enough. The one thing you got to be ready for is you know, generally speaking, if there is a question in the house, it's coming my way. Doesn't matter which kid, which the wife, you know, everything. It's like they're looking to you. It's a true story. Only child that my parents work for. Oh shoot! So like, are you usually home alone quite a bit then? Man, I'm sorry. Like at 13, that probably feels cool, but it's also like one of those things where it can get lonely as well. Why did I take off my helmet? Oh yeah, I mean, all everyone's trying to do is support and you know, provide. Like I said, my commute to work is like 60 kilometers, which isn't bad, but I know there's also some out there who's got to go all the way, you know, 3-4 hour commute just to get to work, and then you got to go back it too, which is just, you know, I feel for that. 13, you're figuring life out, man. Like I'd imagine when I was 13, I hated school. I'm not gonna lie. I knew very early on that I was not gonna be a post-secondary kid. I tried, but I dropped out of post-secondary. But I knew very early on that school just wasn't for me. Is that a cave of wonders? We got coal too. Okay. We're gonna have to try and incorporate that into our basic design. Oh geez. This is delightful. And you know what? Just the fact that you try to make your parents proud, like, yeah, that shows a lot about you. I can see why we get along and why we're best friends. Look at all them pumpkins. Holy cow. Is this where the headless horseman lives? Imagine if they did do a headless horseman thing here. Whoop, get back here. So, what kind of fence did it want me to have? We'll start with a border fence. Border fence. Border. Yeah. What? Yeah. Yeah. So where was it? Where's the official design? And plot size 120 by 120. So we'll start with fencing. I should also start with some taters. Because my guy's hungry. Hey man, it's an important event. And so like one thing that I understand better now as an adult than I did as a kid is remember your parents were once exactly where you are. I think that's something people forget. Your parents were kids too once. And so when you're scared to like talk and relate and connect that way, they were confused, young, but they just want to try and usually, you know, correct the mistakes that we've made. But it's an important event too, man. Like, you gotta let it out. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Sorry, I'm just getting to know this area as well while we're chit-chatting. I am enjoying the heck out of talking to you, by the way. You're pretty cool. And I do think of you as a friend already. So one of the biggest things for me when I was a teen, actually, was I had a hard time finding work. Oh, nice. Nice. That one, time to listen to you. That's huge. You got to make time for that. Generally, the biggest reason I see for that is the provider instinct. Now, what does that mean? What does that actually mean? What I'm saying there is you want to provide a lifestyle and comforts for family. Like I am, like as a bachelor, I know I was wasn't narcissistic by any means, but I didn't have to worry about anything other than myself and, Aston. Well, obviously Aston's huge thing to worry about, but realistically that was like nothing. But then when you make that transition, it's like, holy cow, okay, now I gotta provide for everybody. And it hits you like a brick, man, especially the way that it happened to me. Because you remember, bachelor, boom, father of 4, right? And that's a rapid fire lifestyle change. And making it through that first year with the budget, whew, that was rough. but your sensation is to provide, 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 provide. So you just want to keep trying to do what you can to make tomorrow easier than today, or to grind over so that maybe someday you can even retire, so you can stop working for a change. But the balance trick is, how do I keep providing for my kids and make their life better? And how do I save up for retirement? And how do I keep grinding at work and still make time for everything? I'm a lucky guy. I am an incredibly lucky guy because I got on to work at this company and I work in the rail yard, but it's shift work. Now, what does shift work look like for me? That means I work 5 days, then I got 4 days off. Then I work 4 days, then I get 5 days off. Then I work 5 days and I get 5 days off. A lot more time off because I work extended hours. Like, make no mistake, I'm not working an 8-hour day, I'm working 12-hour day. And when you factor in my commute, it's usually 14 hours before I'm back home. But that shift work is instrumental to like being able to make time for everything. And my family really appreciate it as well. There's cons to it too. Like, every 4 to 5 years, we have a time in our schedule where it's massive amounts of overtime and you're expected to work, 12 days and 2 off. And that's hard. That's a challenge. Where did I get leather pants with unbreaking? But yeah, it's balancing work, providing with the kids is a challenge. I think I am doing better. Try to make. I'm sorry, buddy. The thing that I would recommend is to communicate. You know, it's not on you, but communication's huge. It's something that we all struggle with usually, is being able to communicate our needs. And just being like, yo, listen, I could use some time. I could use some of your time. How much do you make an hour? I can pay you. And you're not actually going to pay them, but somebody who knows that, like, how much they're neglecting a situation, or potentially neglecting, or just too wrapped up in their own thing. When you hear that, you're just like, oh, okay, I need to make some changes. I real do. Spruce fence. Don't mind if I do. Wait, I should actually make some more sticks. Sticks and stones may break my bones. But I am sorry, buddy. I hope, you know what I hope for you? I hope that you can have like a conversation and just expose your heart and get that conversation with your parents. Be like, I could use more of your time. And I pray that happens for you, man. Ooh. A lot of kids don't. I think so. Like, as you've heard of my life story, you probably heard, there was definitely some trauma in my wife's past, and the kids were a lot more mature. And maturity doesn't mean job related or whatnot, but it means the fear to communicate their needs was also like, it was there, but not to an extent. Well, One thing that I know we tend to do as a family when we need to reset on time like that is, do you guys have board games? Or card games or something like that? Whatever it is, grab it and be like, ask if they want to play. And I'm hoping that they be like, yeah, for sure. But then when that happens, just be like, talk with them. How was your day? You know, playing board games, be like, how was your day? What'd you get up to today? You know? Yeah, when, yep, he's wearing gold. But I tell you what generally happens in that moment is they see you like sparking that interest and they register like, wow, that's how I would take it. Is like when my kids ask like how my day is going, I see a light in them where it's just like, yep, you know, they just want my time. And the least I can give them is time. The least. Try to give the world, but you. Just the reality of it. Sometimes it's just that time. That's all that you need to give. Well, I think that comes with maturity though. Like, you know, so like 13 years old, like communicating your feelings. Like, dude, I still struggle with that. No, you should be proud actually. If I were you, I'd be proud of communicating like that. Because that's the first thing is like you learn to communicate with somebody, you might be able to help better you communicate with everybody. So start small. Start with this random guy in Alberta. That seems kind of cool, obviously. Okay. But communicate, and then before you know it, we're running. Well, it's huge, buddy. Shoot. You know, I don't know what school is like these days. I remember, so 13 years old. That would have for me. That would have been grade 7, 6, and 8, maybe. I don't know, in that area. I was a heavier kid, so then I was like just worried about like making sure that I gave an appearance of being like being able to be cool and stuff like that. And I'd imagine you're a good student, and you should be proud of that. Very much so. Woo! Wait, I wanted to make fence. What am I doing? What am I doing, my guy? But there is a balance. And it ain't, I mean, not talking about the force, but there's like pillars to happiness in your life. I truly believe this. And like, you know, there's going to be financial burdens, so that's generally one of the pillars. There's going to be this pull to family, so that's the second pillar. And then there's your recreational time. See, yeah. I my experience, like this, we're talking about the 90s and or early 2000s, like 13 years old, I believe. Holy cow. 89 and so you're talking about grade 8. Yeah. I I was not I was not wired the same as you, man. So I couldn't get into school. I think it was a boredom thing for me, but the fact that you're grinding like that just to try and get acknowledgement like that, is really cool. And it probably is like a, you know, you're bettering yourself, but you're also seeking the attention from it. Well, I mean, generational gap a little bit. You know what I'm saying, my guy? When 13 years ago, that would have been 23 years old. So, yeah, that was when I first started my current job. But yeah, I'd suggest the board game trick, man. Throw in a game. Uh, ask, ask, and ask. So when you have a parent who's like, not really engaged sometimes with conversation or that attentive time, asking them when there is a moment and talking about their day or whatnot can sometimes help register that they haven't asked you about yours. You know what I'm saying? That's my theory. That's how I would do it, especially being a little older nowadays. They ask for where it's coming from, just be legit. It's like, I could use some more time together. I feel like we're too busy. I I don't know about that, dude. I uh I feel like I just have like a lot of different experiences through life. You remember, have you ever seen the movie Jonah Hill, like, and Channing Tatum, 21 Jump Street? There we go. Sorry, I was just listing off the actors till it actually came to me. You seen the movie 21 Jump Street? It's Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum. So like I came from like their generation of school where they were worried about being cool, right? You remember how they were like all proud to roll up in like an old muscle car, and the new cool kids were like, "Man, that's not green." I'd be the muscle car guy. I'm not gonna lie. Um, but yeah, that was just that generation's just different. Oh, I feel like I just dropped something. That's the hardest part. Like, kid that age, it's already challenging enough. Like, you're just trying to figure out who you are. But the reality of it is you're not gonna figure yourself out till, shoot, that's project for after you're 18. Like, you're gonna get pressured to figure out job, figure out, post-secondary education, all that stuff. It's all coming down the grapevine. Just full forewarning. But to actually know yourself, no, you're not going to know yourself for a while. So that's why it's important to just enjoy the ride, communicate the needs you have. And if you need tips on how to do it subtly and make it more comfortable for you, I got you. But I bet. But like, so like as you get older, like communicating with your parents right now is a stress, right? And then there's going to be exam crunch stresses. There's going to be financial stresses. There's going to be housing stresses. Every stress you have in your life sets up a new tolerance. So then the next time you deal with something that used to be stressful, it's like, oh, yeah, this is nothing. We got through it last time. This is no big deal. And the more stresses you deal with, like, they make you stronger as you overcome them. And I truly believe that 100%. Like, I also am. No. So I apologize if talking about it brings a pressure to it. That's down the grapevine, my guy. Your job right now is 13. School, just focus on like that conversation with your parents, board game idea. And every year is going to bring new strats that you got to use to come with that day's deal, right? But I'll tell you one thing. It's a quote I have had in my head since I first watched this movie. And it's probably one of the most important quotes to keeping things light. So, and I'll say it very crystal clear. Don't take life too seriously. It's not like you're going to get out of it alive. And that is not intended to, do anything dark, but it's like, it's a quote that's meant to be like, keep yourself light. I mean, at the end of at the end of the day, we're all on the same life's journey, and best thing we can do in this life is to enjoy it. And that's not to say like enjoyment does not define like the party or anything like that. No. It's finding enjoyment in the monotony, in the day-to-day, in everything. Yeah. It is a deep quote. Do you know where it came from? Van Wilder. Ryan Reynolds, like one of his first iconic roles. I used to love that movie. I still actually could probably crush that movie, not gonna lie. It was a good one. I want some more sticks. Are you serious right now? Boom, boom, boom. How you like me now? But yeah, it's a quote just keeping everything. The weight of the world can stay on your shoulders, but it's up to you to just be like keeping them light. Life is going to happen to you. 90% of it is how you react to it. So let me repeat that. Your life, your quality of life is 10% about what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. So like say you go through tragedies and traumas and whatnot, those, if you let them, can define your life, but it's how you can handle it. If great things happen to you, they can also define your life, but yeah. You can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. 100%, 1000%. We are on the same page. So these are very deep conversations. Spruce vents. Okay. Got as many. Okay, yeah, good. We got lots of those now. Okay. Oh yeah. But yeah, some amazing life quotes out there. But they're all about the same thing relatively. It's like, you can handle everything. You got this. And your tag's fooled like you. But let me tell you, you should be proud of who you are as a person. Because in the little time I've communicated with you, I feel proud to know you. Ah, I went too far. Sometimes they're very much needed. Oh, where are you now? There you are. I'm excited for you, dude. Or doodad. But I'm excited. You know, education is important. That's one of my biggest regrets from a kid is I should have taken it more seriously when I had the chances and the opportunity. Hey. You know what? Actually, okay, this will be another one I'll give you. That's huge to hear, and the pride we get from that, and hearing our parents say "proud of you" is immaculate. There's one that's even more. Yep, true story. There is one person who can say "I'm proud of you." That's gonna actually mean more to you than even that your parents saying it to you. And that's you. Those days when you can wake up and be like, genuinely look yourself in the mirror and be like, I am proud of me. That's huge. Now that can change lives. Make no mistake. I think I might have to make some subtle adjustments to AI suggestions just on my land. Yeah. Yeah, that works probably. What are we looking at here? It's a little swampy. Ah. Okay, yeah, we're... Ah. Now I'm wet. You know, the efforts you're making in life are huge already. You're doing a great job. And you should be proud of yourself. But the kind of pride I'm talking about, I don't think you can really, like, that one's older. Yeah, I think to register, like, holy cow, my accomplishments, my feats, I'm proud of me. Not just proud of my accomplishment, of me. That's... Because a lot of us can be proud of our accomplishments throughout time, right? You know, we accomplish great things in the ordeal of life. But I think you're pretty cool, my guy. I am grateful that you decided to join my stream today. Grateful. Woo. Okay, let's see here. Ding, 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 ding. Thanks, man. Boom. Seriously. Yeah. And that's what I mean. Like, I think that's something when you're older. Because so another life story about myself. So, like I said, when I was a kid, I was a heavier set kid, right? By the time I was 20 years old, 19, 20 years old, I clocked in. I weighed 320 pounds. I was a big boy. You know, I know there's bigger out there, but like for a kid, that's a lot to be carrying around. And so one of the biggest issues I had with self-confidence was I wanted to and I needed to lose weight. And so for years and years I battled with that. Well, yeah. But it's no longer the biggest crutch. So the full story of that retrospect is it took hard work, determination, stuff like that. And um, just before I met my wife, actually, I had clocked in at 170. So I had lost 320. Oh, that's 120, 140, 145 pounds. And I was like full on, had the six pack back. My favorite picture was me with my back flexed because of all the ridges, right? But then you know, for me, I was the transition reverted back a little bit because I became dad, and so then the biggest thing in my life wasn't fitness; it was husband and father and providing. So then that entered a new era, and I can tell you that I am not 170 anymore, but I am in a happy spot. I wouldn't mind actually dabbing down that avenue again though. For myself. You know, that would be my self-care. But yeah, when I actually got to that point where I had lost 100 and what did we say, 45 pounds? And I looked at myself and I looked at all the work I had to do to get there and the effort it took. I had this like feeling. I remember one day I was like looking and I was like, holy cow. I'm proud of me. Proud of what I was able to do. And it, like that feeling just like it hit. No lie, like it hit. And it just it had heart. Like it felt like God touching my heart, right? And that moment I got to register what that true self-pride, when you're proud of yourself, that awareness. And I gotta say, man, it hits different. It hits different. Gotta go monster killing mission. They're not even that close to me, bed. This guy's kind of close. Haha. There we go. Bleep it out. Bleep it out. Bleep it out. I need more wood. Kinda do. What to do? Dunk, dunk, dunk. Oh yeah, but there's like the one thing that I am working on now in life is balance. Right? Because like I said, me and the wife just bought a homestead beginning of the year. So I've been working. And you remember how I said every 4 to 5 years, like my shift goes to 12 days on and 2 days off, or the counter option is 6 days on and 1 day off. That was this year. That I did that in April and May, I believe. And then doing that while renovating, while trying to keep up with the family and everything. The balance there, and then the timing of being like, okay, I want to get back into my fitness journey. But I also understand that I'm at a tipping point. If I create too many more pressures for myself, you know, I'm gonna crumble. And so I'm at a good point right now. As soon as I start to drop off some other stuff, that means I can do it. You know, hoping my stream quality is not too bad. I saw a dip down there. Had some drop frames. Myself, my bad. Hiring, I don't know. I have this ambition. So like, and truth be told, so December of last year, right? We decided to pull the trigger on this. Terrible time to sell your house, by the way, in Canada. No one's really looking to move in wintertime. But anyways, that's not the point. We decide we're selling, and so we quickly get our house together, right? We're doing these like, what would prevent this place from selling for, you know, the price we're hoping to get, and let's tackle this, right? And we're doing great, and it's like, it's a lot of work, but within that work is reward. Not reward in the sense of, you know, maybe it'll fetch a higher dollar for sale. No, just the reward of the accomplishment and doing it. And so anyways, we're really grinding away, me and the wife. And finally it's done, and we list the house. And there's like that time where you list your house where it's like you live in your house, but it's not your house anymore because you can't really do much because you want to keep it, you know, pretty clean for showings and listings and whatnot. It's a very weird feeling. I didn't like that. But so anyways, but it created this 2-week, maybe 3-week stretch, and I was bored. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I thought I knew boredom, but like, I did not enjoy that time. Mushroom. But for yourself, give yourself grace. You are very young. You are crushing it in school, and your biggest objective right now, I think, is that relationship with your parents and communicating your needs there, letting them know that, you know, you got to find better balance here, mom and dad. You might be accomplishing the world at work, but you're my world, and I'm missing out on our time together. Shoot, man. I was so bored that 2 weeks. I don't have to worry about that anymore. Oh, where are you? There you are. Boom. Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about. Actually, so not my parents in general. And this kind of helped define part of who I became as a person, as a provider. But when I was a kid as well, you know, the one thing that I never, you know, truly registered was my father was a long haul truck driver. And he was a long haul truck driver for like a lot of my childhood. So like, I always try to remember the good times of it. But, you know, the reality is it must have been his availability, right? Like, odds are he was driving for most of my childhood. And I always just registered it as, you know, those when I was summer vacation and, you know, you had that time off of school in summer, I'd go with. So like he'd be driving across the states, and in doing so, like I have been to I think like 45 out of 50 states. Like I've been to more of the US than some US you know, Americans have been. And you know, got to see like all the beauty in it. And so I remember those times so vividly, but the one thing I never register is, you know, how much of my time in school was without having access to my dad. But mentally I spun it, because then when I was 16 years old, he offered me to work with him in his metal recycling yard. And I got to learn the grind of the work. And I'm like, I'm got the same kind of deal going on as a lot of people in that generation, where, you know, you get what you give, so then you just like try to give more. I should make a furnace here. I don't think I've come across iron yet, but let's just eat some potatoes for now. Is it? That's honestly one of the bigger setbacks for myself in this. So a few years ago, I decided to try my hand at like YouTube videos and whatnot, because it is like you say, like I register that my time with my family and how important that is, and I'd like to spend more of it, but the reality is you got to work. And so what could I do to be more available to them? And so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try my hand at this. And it did not work out. Like I didn't take off or anything, fair enough, but I was doing so much extra stuff that didn't need to be done. So at this time I was just like, you know what, I'm just putting myself on stream, gonna save it, throw it on YouTube, see what happens, maybe try to edit some cooler videos, and hopefully maybe someday I'll be able to make a career out of it so that I can be more available. But the truth is, I'm just genuinely enjoying the process. I'm genuinely enjoying talking to you. I genuinely enjoy. But I find when I'm editing my videos, I'm very self-conscious about how my voice sounds. Because, you know, you have how you think your voice sounds, and you have how your voice actually sounds. And they're not the same. And so I wasn't always ready for that. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. Whee! I'm gonna need to cut down more trees soon. Yeah. Okay. I guess. Nice to hear from you. Man, I feel for you. I really do. And I hope that you're able to work through it and, you know, communicate that. And I hope that changes for you. I really do. Pray for it as well. But you know what? I can tell you that you're pretty awesome. And I genuinely mean that. Genuinely. Woo! There you go. I'm not gonna lie, when I see those little green guys, I know I call them the wrong name all the time, but I can not help but think of the cranberries. Zombie, zombie. Okay. You know what? If you want a lighthearted one, okay, I got a lighthearted one for you. Just because, you know, we've had a lot of deep talks, so it's important to break it up. You know, help you find some humor as well in my life. I'm gonna sleep here right away on the game, but so yeah, I mentioned that metal recycling business me and my dad used to work at, right? And so, anyways, it's got this excavator, and its whole job, this piece of machinery, cutting metal. And I don't know why we were talking about this, but that memory flashed back into my head. So its whole job is to cut metal, and I'm operating this thing, right? I'm 18 years old. I'm operating. I'm learning a bunch of new skills. It's an exciting time, and it turns out that there's a bee's nest in the engine compartment, and through it they go into the ventilation system. So they get in through the vents, and so you know I'd hop in this machine, and when I'd hop in this machine, you know, you do your pre-trip. I learned the value of a pre-trip, and that's essentially inspecting your equipment before you use it. So like I got, you know, made sure I got my pre-trip in. Yay. And then it's time to start up the machine. So, you know, keys on the side. The equipment's running, you got to give it time to run up. And I didn't know this, but this whole time I'm it's bees are reacting to that. They don't like that at all. They want their comfortable home, so they're starting to get irritated. And the bees start coming through the vents. And all of a sudden it's like sting, 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 sting. I out of the cab, run. Whoop, get me out of here. Right. I'm getting stung by bees. I'm not allergic or anything, but it sucks. It's not good. Kind of lame. I have to return back with a can of Raid, you know? And like I don't want to kill bees or anything, but like legit, you guys are just like in this and you're just trying to kill me. And so then I bring a can of Raid just to shut off the equipment and let everything settle down. And from that time going forward, I could not go in that machine without a can of Raid. And the amount of times throughout the course of the next year that I was seen running away from this excavator because of bees, it traumatized me. It did. I could not be face to face with bees again till like just recently, till I became dad, essentially. Once I became dad, you gotta put some of your fears aside. But good grief, I got scared of bees. Noise. Oh, you like my man? I had such a fun time though when I got to work at my old man's business, and I was so sad because when that recession in way back in 2008 hit, like it cost us everything. This whole business at my father's foundation, or not foundation, but like the life he had built for us, just all came to a quick, abrupt stop. And you had to like, where do we go from here? Right? And that's like, it hit so hard because we were crushing it back then. Money wasn't a worry, you know. We were having a great time, and it just felt like a huge gut punch. Made you sick. But then like things started to come together after that. Man, the memories. It is an interesting fear, right? um, it. I did actually overcome it. I'm not still scared of bees. Um, but the amount of sheer times I got stung in that timeline, I'd imagine a few people would be scared of bees there too. You got any bone? Do. Hey, get back over here. Want to be my friend? He's a good boy. He's a good boy. I got a new dog. Don't worry, it's not replacing Aston. Oh. Mm, mm. Ooh. Am I confident I'm no longer scared of bees? Like, you know, yeah, ish. Ish. Big ish. Um, but no, I can be around them. I do worry about getting stung. You look like a good boy too. No, no, no. So I'll be honest, like, some of those flashbacks, um, get me a little sentimental, right? It's you imagine for a second what life was like differently, and you know, I always took a lot of joy when I got to work with my dad, and I don't get that anymore. Like I did actually set him up where a gig with a gig where he gets to, you know, I get to see him during my work course, but it's still different. And I remember just the sheer, I don't know, I liked when I got to actually work hand in hand with my father. It was special. A lot of good lessons. And yeah, so it chokes me up a little bit. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Okay, let's get it back together here. Whoosh, whoosh. Come on, Hatter. Focus. Huh. Do you got any fears? Hmm. Like pretty cool ones like bees. I feel like that's a cool one. Definitely a cool one. I feel so tough. Oh, hi, buddy. Okay, that should be lots to keep going on this. Look at this, Moo Moo. Is this a typical cow or is this a fancy cow? I feel like it might be a fancy cow. Dark. Nice. Way too scary. Nope. No, the dark, okay, the dark, I can confirm. Living on an acreage, you grow a new appreciation for how dark can get. Like, there are no lights around here. Except for what we have. And so all of a sudden it's just, when it's dark, it's real dark. So it can, you can put some chills on your spine, that's for sure. And heights, also, I can relate to heights. That one's getting worse as I'm getting older. You need some food, buddy? Or I hear you like rotten flesh. Is that true? Yeah, good boy. Good boy. So like, no lights. We got obviously our house lights and whatnot, but you can go out onto the property, and if you're not near one of our buildings, because we have a shop, we have a barn, but if you're not too close to that, it's just dark. Tall building. So I play Fortnite as well, and only up is enough to get my balls tingling. No lie. Get rid of some mushrooms. Get out of here. I don't want to get blown up. I proceed to get blown up. You know about the uncanny? Yes, yes. Where things look so in such a way that all of a sudden your brain is playing tricks on you. Yeah. Woo. Let's see this. Got dirt. Okay. If I go in, there should be lots of dirt here. Okay. And then I can put this over here. Then I can get attacked, which I appreciate. You a-hole. Rude. Seriously. See here. Oh, ow. Seriously? I don't want it to night build a little bit, but you guys are being douchebags. Rude. Wait, let me just AFK. Yeah, of course. I also probably got to. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. I think I am out of this place. Okay. Let's get out of here. Come on, buddy. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Come on, big guy. Come on. Well, come in. Come on. Come here. All right. Oh, no doubt that was quick. Oh. Okay. Wait. Oh. Big stretch. Big stretch. Yeah, I need to get rid of them. I need to organize my inventory. That's what's up. That. We can get rid of a lot of that. Oh, still want some food. Run flesh is for my good boy. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Yes. Still out here, buddy? Alright, come on. Let's go. Could have some taters. Let my health get regenerated. Name for good boy. Ooh. So I gave Aston. Aston has 4 names because he's official. He's a good boy. Aston is Aston Cooper Tucker, and then our last name, our family name. And then so this guy, maybe Tucker. You know, keep it going because he's a good boy too. But what do we think of Tucker? That too. Tucker's mine. What do you got? Maybe you got a better name for the good boy. Oh no. Oh no. I killed the chicken. Thought you were American. No, I traveled America. I am Canadian, actually. Come here. Forest. I get it. Yep. That's the deal. Forest it is. Well, Forest, get out of the hole there, would you? Come on. Why are you so stubborn about moving, Forest? Thank you. I love it. Awesome naming. Is Minecraft one of your favorites as a game, or do you got other favorites too? I'm always looking for recommendations as well, because, you know, I know I want to do some Subnautica 2 when it comes out. You know, GTA, I'll probably have to join that bandwagon. But, are you panting? Do you need some food? Want some food, buddy? Okay, I got also heads up. I got 5-minute warning because I gotta get the kiddo ready for school soon enough. So I will be wrapping up here very shortly. But we are making some good progress, and I have enjoyed the heck out of talking to you, man. That's been awesome. Sound like a good young man. Outer Wilds, tiny bookshop. Okay, I'll have to look into those. Hey, buddy. Hey, Forest. You know what's funny, actually? So we got to know a couple of the neighbors, you know, that live a few kilometers away from us. And so anyways, we've been checking in on their dog, and I've been struggling with their dog's name. No lie. I've been really struggling with it until it dawned on me. It was the minigun in Fortnite, Brutus minigun. So now I think of Fortnite minigun, and I'm like, hey, Brutus, who's a good boy? I have to remember the minigun. Oh, hold up. Let's see here. This is one of those. I'm glad I could be a part of that. You know, it's a big deal just to let everything out, be vulnerable, and it's hard. It is, make no mistake, and you should be proud to open up like you did. What? Like my dog's name or the forest? Like my dog having 4 names? Aston Cooper Tucker. He's sophisticated. You know? Well, that is awesome. That is truly awesome. Awesome sauce. We want more fences. So many fences. But you definitely have made this go by a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be on stream. I appreciate. It's one of the things I love, man. Oh, oh, the minigun. Yep. Brutus. Yep. Nope. 100%. Have to use it. I actually, they have 2 dogs. I don't remember the other dog's name because there's not a minigun attached like to it in the name anywhere. Yep. That's my bad. As I've gotten older, I've been worse for remembering things. So when I can tether it to something else, it helps. So I'm just gonna just go like this. Yep, perfect. I also don't trust myself. It's gonna go like that. Whoop. Ooh. Booyah. The most important thing to know is not to trust myself near a cave edge. A splat. A splat. It has been. It has. And yeah, now it's unfortunate for our time together cuz I have enjoyed the heck out of it. But I do also like I say, I'm a streamer, I'm rail yard worker, I'm I guess rancher now. But still number 1 is father and husband. So maybe someday I'll be able to have more work on stream and me and you could have nice big chats. I'd like that. And I appreciate you joining in for the whole time. It did not feel like 2 hours either. And it definitely was a great deal of joy getting to know you. And I hope things work out. And you are definitely welcome to join in anytime you want. Chat me up. I got a Discord. I don't really use it because there's so much spam on it. But if you're on there, you want to shoot a message, feel free to. Oh, I appreciate it. You're great. You're a great dude too, man. But that will be doing it for this time. Appreciate, much love. And we'll have to see you next time. Oh, Discord, same as the name, HatterXP. HatterXP. That's me. All right. Thank you.